Hey, welcome back to Learning with Jazzy J. It's your girl, Learning with Jazzy J. Hey, I just wanted to jump in today and just do a teacher tag so that you could just kind of see what background I have, what all is coming together to make up this teacher that I am. I've done a teacher tag before. So yeah, I've done a teacher tag before, but I did it early on when I first started recording last year, and it's been a while. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and give you this updated teacher tag. I've missed you guys. Let's get it. All right, so the first question of the day is, how long have you been teaching? I have been teaching for a total of 6 years. I began my teaching career after substitute teaching, because I actually substitute taught for about 4 to 5 years as well, immediately after college. And then, or not immediately after college, let me think. I began substitute teaching in 2015. I graduated from college in 2013 with my undergrad. Undergrad ended at 2013. And then after that, I actually got into the adult education program, or the adult education sector, and I started my teaching journey there. I was an instructor there. So that's where my teaching career began. So I did 2 years of adult education instruction in the areas of reading. And then after those 2 years passed, I actually just started substitute teaching while jumping into HR management, because I went and got a master's in HR management. And so went from adult education instruction to substitute teaching. I did substitute teaching for 4 years because it was just convenient, and it allowed me to actually take on other opportunities like I said, HR, singing, acting, all those things. Let me close the door. And then after substitute teaching, I ended up getting some great news. I was pregnant in 2019. At the end of 2019, I discovered that I was pregnant. And so COVID hit, and I decided, you know what? I've been flirting with the whole idea of teaching this whole time. I did adult education for 2 years. I may as well go ahead and just fully commit. And so I fully committed. While COVID and all of that was taking place, I just went ahead and started studying for my GACE. Studied for my GACE, went ahead, took the assessment. I passed that with flying colors. And then after that, I went ahead and applied for some jobs, for various school districts, just to see, what would happen. And so after I gave birth in 2020, July 2020, I got my first offer in October. Mind you, I did not apply for a teaching position until August or September. It was a quick turnaround, honestly. The response was a quick turnaround. So I began my first job in the K-12 setting in October of 2020. Hopefully all this makes sense. Hopefully the timeline makes sense. But with that being said, I'm in my 4th year of teaching on the K-12 level. And so by the time you add that amount up with my 2 years in adult education, I have been teaching for 6 years. And some people add their substitute teaching years, but I'm not going to add that. If I were to do that, then I guess all in all, it would be since 2013. That would be 11 years. I always just say I've been in education for 11 years. I've been in education for 11 years, and I've taught for 6 years, and I've been in the K-12 setting for 4 years. And I always tell people that, at least from my experience, adult education, the adult education field and the K-12 setting, they were drastically different for me. The K-12 setting is so much more structured, in my opinion. At least when I look at how it is now versus how adult education was in 2013. It was, today's K-12 setting is very much more structured in how you can do instruction. Also in what is required of you, you know, meeting all these district and state needs, that type of thing. So that is the difference. So for me, I feel like I've been teaching 4 years. That's what I count. But I did teach for 2 years on the adult education level. Hopefully that timeline made sense, and hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm rambling. I'm just really trying to give you real context here. What have I taught? So in the adult education world, I taught reading. I helped students to earn their GEDs by aiding them in the area of reading. And then once I hit the K-12 setting in 2020, for 3 years consecutively, I taught each discipline. I taught reading, I taught language arts, I taught math, I taught science, I taught social studies. Like, I taught it all. I did that for 3 years consecutively. And I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it wore me out. And now I realize that it wore me out way more than I realized at the time. Here, during my 4th year in this new district, I have the privilege of only having to teach one content area, and that is reading slash English language arts, or language arts. And I actually positively love it. I love being able to just focus in on one content area and just kind of donate all my time and investment there in that one area. It really helps me to hone in on what my students need from me and how I can just really support them in literacy. I love English language arts. I'm a big English language arts fan, and I'm a big social studies fan. So I was so happy when they had the ELA availability. Let's see. So if you're thinking about whether you should try to go for a departmentalized type of situation versus teaching all disciplines, I am definitely for team departmentalized. It also gives you the opportunity to see how it also feels to be like maybe a middle or high school teacher, because they focus on one subject area. And so that's really good for me, because in the very beginning, I always thought I wanted to be on the middle school level, because I long-term subbed on the middle school level, and it wasn't bad to me. Like, I'm okay with the middle school personalities. I know how to navigate. But I know that's not everybody's favorite area. Anywho, being able to just focus on one area on the elementary level, it helps me to say, you know what, I'll stay here on the elementary side of things. So I'm team departmentalized if you can help it. The next question says, were there any experiences outside or beyond teaching? Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, I have a master's in HR management, so I did some HR for quite some time. Also, I'm very much into the arts, so I love to sing, I love to act a bit. So I was also doing that part-time when I used to substitute teach. I've actually been a probation officer on the like local level. I did that for a few months. I realized, even though honestly I was successful at it, it just wasn't as fulfilling for me. I was even given like this special type of recognition for it, but it wasn't fulfilling for me. Neither was the money good, and I'm just gonna be honest. But I did it for a small private firm, and that was interesting. What else have I been? I'm an entrepreneur. I have a business. Trying to think what else. I've done it all, y'all. Like, my background is literally sociology, so I did a lot before fully committing to teaching, honestly. Like I said, if something else comes to my mind, I'll tell you. But yeah, it was HR, the arts, a PO. I've done it all. And now here I am. Oh, I was a professional assessment scorer with Pearson, and I know as a teacher we all have more than likely heard about Pearson. That's a great company to work for as well. If you're a teacher, like just scoring assessments on the side part-time, that was fruitful for me. I did that for about 3 years. And then now here I am teaching. happily teaching. And I will just say, I feel that exploring other careers really helped me to become like a well-rounded teacher. Like a well-rounded teacher. I feel like maybe if I hadn't explored other careers, I would probably be burnt out. I'm just gonna be honest, because I feel burnt out some days, even though I love teaching. But I probably would be even more burnt out. I wouldn't be able to have, all these extra perspectives, you know what I'm saying? So having had explored other careers definitely helped me to become a more well-rounded teacher. I don't just see through the teacher lens. I see from multiple angles. What grade do you currently teach? And where do you actually teach? So that question, I currently teach 4th grade. Before teaching 4th grade, I taught 5th grade for 3 years across the disciplines. But this year I'm teaching 4th grade and I'm teaching English language arts. It has been amazing. It's been phenomenal. And I've even requested to teach 4th grade again. So when I had to send in my letter of intent for the upcoming year, I stuck with the same grade level. So hopefully I'll end up with that grade level again, as well as the content area, because I love ELA. And I teach in Georgia. I'm a Southern peach, okay? In the great state of GA, baby, GA. All right, what is my actual classroom size and what is my ideal classroom size? My actual classroom size is 21. It's currently 21. It has fluctuated since the beginning, but we're currently at 21. And my ideal size used to be 20, but honestly now, ideally, I would prefer 15 to 18. That way I could get some more one-on-one instruction in like I would want to. Right now, I'm getting a lot of good instruction during small group time, but I still would rather have some one-on-one time if possible. So maybe if I had about 15 to 18 students, I would be able to do that more feasibly or more efficiently. So that's where we are. How did I get into teaching, or what led me to teaching? I pretty much answered that earlier in the video. I had always substitute taught for in some long-term capacities, and I did pretty well at that. Teachers and principals were always requesting me, always leaving notes and great words about how I was in the classroom, how I was able to build student teacher relationships, things of that nature. Then also I had already done 2 years of adult education. So again, when I found out that I was pregnant, me and my husband were pregnant with a daughter, it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of sparked me to go ahead and plant my feet. And I planted my feet in teaching. That's just what it was. And I do feel called to the field of teaching. That doesn't mean that I feel like I'll be teaching for years, because honestly, I don't foresee me teaching for 20 years, but I do feel called to this area. And so in whatever capacity I can serve within education, that's what I'm going to do. And right now in this current season, I feel like God is having me to teach, and it has been amazing. I am loving this platform that I have to serve students, to serve kids, and really be their safe place. Right now, okay, so the next question says, what is your favorite online tool at the moment? My favorite online tool, and I'm sure everyone has heard of it, is ClassDojo. It's just a great platform where you can just consistently contact parents and keep parents in the loop. I love building home connection, those school to home connections. So many times I'll just post strategies or post myself I'll record myself teaching a certain strategy or skill or explaining an activity. Like I'll post it in ClassDojo and parents can see what that looks like, and that way we're all on the same page. Again, just building those school to home connections are very important for me. And so I really love ClassDojo because it allows me to do that. I also love HMH. If you've been following me or watching me for a while, if you've been joining me for a while, you've heard me discuss HMH. It is a resource that my district uses heavily. And so that's also another online tool that I like to use. You can issue students assessments there. There are learning tasks there, performing tasks there, a lot of, just different little activities, resources like anchor charts and things of that nature. So HMH is definitely an online tool that I would keep. Almost done here. It says describe your ideal classroom, and sometimes, y'all, that literally changes by the school year. That's what I've noticed. But more than anything, I just like to create this paradise for learning. Like, that's how I visualize my classroom. I love to support high engagement. You know what I'm saying? Student engagement is very important to me. I feed off their energy as I know they feed off my energy. So you come into my classroom, you're going to see some high energy. You're going to see some engagement. Obviously, there's this balance because I know there's a time for us to sit down and process information and apply information, but while learning, you'll also notice that there's some high engagement. So for me, it's a paradise of learning. That's what my ideal classroom looks like. It looks like we're all getting along, we're peaceful, we actually love each other, view each other as a family, and we support each other in our journey of learning. No matter where you are, no matter what your pacing looks like, we're supporting each other. So my classroom is very warm, it's cozy, that sort of thing. We're a family here. Yes, I'm your teacher, but I am here to support you, your well-being as a student. So that if you can feel my drift here, if you can feel my energy, that's what we have here. And for me, it's always about learning. So even if it's some SEL, we learning, okay? We are going to learn. We're going to be effective with our time management. That's what my ideal classroom looks like as well. I believe in structure. Some people think I went to the military, and I have to tell them, girl, no, I am not cut out for the military. I just appreciate and value structure when it comes to my time, when it comes to systems. That's just who I am. And so that's how we roll. Like, that's my ideal classroom. And more than anything, like I said, peace. I need it to be peaceful because you're away from home, I'm away from home. Let's learn and let's have peace, honey, okay? All right, and last but not least, it says, the next question says, what is your favorite part of teaching, or what is your least favorite part of teaching? My favorite part of teaching is and I know it sounds cliche, but I literally get to serve my kids. I get to serve my kids. So I'm very big on what we call servant leadership. And for me in this season, I am here for my kids. I know that I am a safe place for my children. And it's been that way since day one. Kids go through so much these days. We all know how globally the society is. Like, it's ever changing. They're super exposed, they're hyper exposed to everything. And sometimes it's just too much. It's too much stimulation, and they need to be able to have that, just a nice little safe place, someone that they can just go to and know that they are loved, and I care for you, right? So I love that I get to be a safe place for my students. I love that I get to be a voice for my students. I am an advocate for you. That's how I see it. I'm also here for their parents. In my mind, we're all a village. We're literally a village. So we're gonna take care of each other, and I'm gonna make sure that I do right by my students. Like, that's just what it is. I feel like God has given me the opportunity to be a blessing in that way, to be a blessing in that capacity, and I just dare not play around with that. That's just how I feel. I'm going to be a good steward over what God has done for me, and my kids are a blessing. My students are a blessing. That's the favorite part, and they make my day. Their personalities make my day. Them having the light bulb come on makes my day. It's just amazing. My least favorite part of teaching, that also fluctuates from year to year. It depends on what the demands are for that school, for that school year. What's a part of the improvement plan? All of that could contribute to what I might not be feeling or liking this year. But this school year, my least favorite thing is feeling like you literally just don't have enough time to service your students in the way that they need to be served. And sometimes what they need is not even available on an instructional level. It just may not even be available. That is my least favorite part. Yeah, I could go on and on, y'all, just about how the teaching field is now. Maybe I'll talk a bit more about that in another video, but today I just wanted to kind of welcome any new comers to the family, anyone that has been with me, but maybe it's been a while since you saw my initial ones. Hey, I wanted to throw this back out for you so you knew where I was coming from with my background. I'm just your everyday teacher trying to serve the kids, honey. I'm trying to serve and save kids one day at a time. I have this sociological background. I'm mixing it in with this business type of background because I'm from HR management as well. And then I'm very big on family and all. So I'm like literally just kind of meshing everything together to be this well-rounded teacher for my students. I love what I do, and I do what I love. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was insightful. I wanted to make sure I answered all the questions. I feel like I did. If I forgot anything, I'll weave it in somehow in another video. All right, until next time, I want you to keep learning, loving, and growing. Thanks for watching. Feel free to